So, Sandra Losty here at the Dublin conference with Kevin Lee, our immediate past district director and Pathways ambassador. So Kevin is going to talk to us today about the Pathways programme, and there were some questions that were put forward to ask Kevin, and Kevin will elaborate on them. And then I'm going to ask Kevin a personal question at the very end, but I'll keep you waiting for that particular one. So Kevin, we know that this Pathways programme is also a self-paced programme like our previous programme that we're currently running. But is there a minimum time that somebody can become a Distinguished Toastmaster with the Pathways programme?
Like all education programmes, those who are determined and aim for the absolute shortest route would be pleased to know that it takes exactly 2 years and 1 day to become a Distinguished Toastmaster. And the reason it takes that is that assuming you are elected a club officer on the day you join a club, and that day is the 1st of July, you will complete a club officer term in 1 year, and then hopefully in the second year complete a district officer term in exactly another 12 months, so that's 2 years. You then, on the day after your term completes as a district officer, could then apply for a Distinguished Toastmaster award, having completed the leadership. Of course, that assumes that all of the speaking requirements for Pathways are completed within those 2 years.
Wow, that's very handy to know, very nice to know. And I suppose on that, Kevin, around the evaluations, because the Pathways programme is very different and it's not transferable over to the what will be then the old programme. In terms of evaluations, is there a particular training that members will need to do to evaluate with the relevant content of the Pathways programme?
Okay, I think I'll address the first point about what's not transferable.
Okay.
So an existing award, so say you had a competent communicator award, you couldn't then get an exemption in Pathways. However, if you are currently a district officer or a club officer, so if you are your club vice president of education and you didn't put that towards the current advanced leader bronze, you could, when Pathways was launched, put it towards a Pathways DTM.
Okay.
Okay, so the transferability piece has a difference in that existing awards are for the members to keep, but any service to the club or district, as long as it is not claimed, can be claimed later on. You ask about specific training for evaluation. At the moment, evaluation training to a certain extent is optional, which is odd because evaluation is the foundation of the success of our current program. The modern CL award, the current CL award, requires members to complete a CL manual and there are evaluation projects in it. But Pathways aims to take that even further, where there are formal projects on evaluation that each member has to complete.
That's very interesting to know around the officer roles and how they can transfer over, as opposed to maybe the speeches manual or those kind of roles that we take on, the practice that we take on. So that's really useful to know that is. And then just on that then, Kevin, just around mentoring then, is there something that Pathways can kind of bring in that will help members to mentor new members, current and new members on the Pathways programme? Are we looking at something different in terms of mentorship there?
The mentoring programme within Pathways, there is a basic mentoring requirement. Every new member can discuss with their mentor and fill in an online questionnaire in order to determine what path out of the 10 available best suits their personal development objectives. So mentoring has changed in that respect. And I think many successful clubs have mentoring as part of their club structure today, yet there are other clubs that have no mentoring program at all. When Pathways comes in, the aim is to change that, because Toastmasters International feels that having a mentoring program is again another keystone to the success of the new education program.
Super, super. One of the questions that came in was around the accredited speaker and recognition for that. So will Pathways have an impact on that?
So the Accredited Speaker program is and has always been outside the education program. The current requirement, if I remember correctly, is that one must be an advanced communicator or equivalent in order to apply to be accredited speaker. And for pathways, the entry requirement hasn't been announced to ambassadors. But I think it will remain outside the education program as it is today, but there will be a qualifying requirement. I'm waiting for World Headquarters to tell me what that qualifying requirement is under pathways.
Lovely, lovely. And Kevin, we're coming towards the end of our interview, and maybe you would like to talk a little bit about ambassadors visiting clubs and why that hasn't happened up to this point, up to this date today anyway. Maybe you'll talk to us about that.
Sure. I have had members getting in touch saying, when are ambassadors coming to visit my club? And what I say to them is, well, when are you inviting an ambassador to visit your club? So the district leadership team and your area and division governor has control over district events, so anything that's an area contest and above. What they don't actually have control over is the club schedule, and that is owned by the club membership and exercised by the club officers. So unless a club officer invites an ambassador, they don't have the privilege to actually come to your club. So I urge any member who wants to find out more about pathways to say to your club officers, please invite an ambassador to speak to us. It does come at an expense of your usual club meeting. So understandably, if your club is a busy one, then there is a reluctance to give up speaking slots for pathways. But the nearer we get to pathways going live, the more important it is that every member has heard a presentation about it, not just read the article in the Toastmaster magazine.
Yes. So in true Toastmaster style, we're planning for something we know that is going to happen, and the more prepared we are, the better chance we are of seamlessly moving into that new programme.
Indeed.
Excellent, excellent. My very last question for you, Kevin, is I am absolutely fascinated with your beautiful hat that you wore at the Gala Ball in Limerick. So please tell us the significance of the hat.
So I don't remember clearly what I wore to various functions, but I think
it had a slight angle on it.
Oh yes, the purple one.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what I wore then was the national dress of Malaysia. And I'm not a Muslim, so one of the options for Muslims is to wear a black songkok, which is a prayer hat. But part of the cultural background of Malaysia involves a hand-tied cloth on the head for nobility and for royalty. I'm clearly not royalty, so I don't have the privileges to the royal colours. The tied cloth is therefore one of ancient Malay nobility. And today in dances in the Malay Peninsula, you will see dancers wearing similar hats to that. Lovely, lovely. I'm delighted I asked you that question. I was meaning to ask you a limerick and it went out of my head, so I'm delighted that you gave us that explanation. Kevin, thanks very much for coming and talking to us today. I really appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to talking with you over the weekend as well. I know you're going to be part of a workshop as well tomorrow. Going to be part of that workshop? Yes, I will be part of a workshop.
Yes, excellent, and we will look forward to that. So thank you very much, Kevin. Really appreciate you coming in. Sandra Losty, Dublin.